clicked it off because just in case they want to lay up there and get the joint off.
Press 1 if you are ready to speak to an associate. Press 2 if you need time to bring that person to the telephone. Press 3 to cancel this call.
Like again, I just need to live there and do that there because they don't.
You are currently number 1 in the queue. And an
mute my
associate will
shit.
be with you
Ain't
shortly.
nothing on the other one that have copyright. Maybe this one might be on something that have copyright, but not on the other one. So it's gonna be all day here, people. I'm holding people to the truth. We're gonna hear some people lying about different shit. And then I'm gonna show here that there's no such thing as a fucking psychiatrist. They made their fucking selves up. A whole bunch of motherfuckers got together and decided that they were gonna give motherfuckers medication.
Thank you for calling 311 Helpline. This is Johnson, and may I help you?
Yes, Miss Johnson. I'm trying to find out who do I call for legal representation, and I don't have no money. And it seems like the city of Harris County is letting me down because they hooked up with the people that accusing me, but not showing up in court. But I done been put in jail for coming to court late, but I was in the court, and I'm in a wheelchair. I'm like, this is crazy.
Let me connect you to the court division. Is this a Houston court or a Harris County court that you're supposed to be going to?
Harris County.
Okay, you're calling the city, so let me give you Harris County's main number. They can help you.
Okay.
713-755-5000. That's just the main number, and you can go into detail with them and let them know that you have court with the county.
Okay. I thank you.
Anything else?
No, ma'am. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you for coming through on my.
And that was a nice lady, yeah. That was. Normally you don't get nice people like that. It should be the pass over to that door. Nope, I'm gonna do my call City Hall. That's where we're going at tomorrow, people. If they got City Hall open, yeah, we're going there tomorrow. Yeah, because I'm not playing with these people no fucking more. I had fear of them people before. I know fear of them. Yep, I had fear of them, but there's no fear in his heart. His heart is light as a feather. And it is what it is. At least we know one thing. When I come back on here, we might put on Grand Theft Auto. Nope. While I'm doing it there, I'll play this for y'all. I'll play this for y'all, so y'all can think on some shit.
There is no denying that psychological and emotional problems, even severe mental distress, can affect most anyone. But does this mean we are all insane? What causes psychological distress? Early psychiatrists thought it was an imbalance of the humors that could only be cured by bleeding patients with knives or leeches. Other psychiatrists believed mental problems came from organs like the tonsils, the stomach, and the spleen, and cut them out. Later were attempts to alter brain function, but these efforts also failed. Today, psychiatrists tell us that the way to fix unwanted behavior is by balancing brain chemistry with a pill. Did they get it right this time?
They say you have a chemical imbalance of serotonin and dopamine, but there's never been a study to ever prove that, ever. It's just been indoctrinated into the culture and television advertising to the point where people now believe it as fact.
Despite this lack of evidence, psychiatrists will tell you that psychotropic drugs are just like mainstream medical drugs. Can this be true? The answer is that unlike a drug such as insulin that corrects a measurable and proven imbalance in the body, psychotropic medications have no visible or measurable physical abnormality to correct. Here is evidence of a bacterial infection.
All day, baby.
Here is the psychiatric disorder, attention deficit hyperactivity
I
disorder.
told you, you can call me up.
Here's a broken
stop
arm.
it, and we can talk about it.
Here is major depressive disorder. This is a brain tumor. And this is bipolar disorder. Which raises the question, how can you medicate something that is not physically there? The answer is, you can't. And furthermore, because psychotropic drugs are specifically designed to get past the body's natural defenses and into the brain, they can upset the very delicate
What's happening with you,
processes
man?
the brain needs to ensure the body runs smoothly.
Who you think is it? It's little John, man.
Who?
John, man. Hard working John. John in the wheelchair, man. Man, you got how hard of a worker are you, bro? Cause I ain't talked to you ever since the bitches put me in jail for being in the court.
The court messed up when they reset your court date too.
That's what I'm saying, though. I go on 19th of this month, but I'm just what I'm saying to you, dog. All I need is a little advice to what's going on. Even my
Call me at 2:30 after the traffic court.
all right.
All right.
I want to talk to him, dude.
Every time you throw something into the system that's foreign to the system, you're creating imbalances elsewhere within the system.
The body changes as a result of taking the medication. So when you stop taking the medication, the body's got to change back to the way it was before.
Side effect.
It can, because it can't always.
The side effect,
And
dude.
in doing so, it
Side
disrupts the whole
effect. I
system.
done been on every
This
type
is
of
what
drug that
creates
y'all
the
gonna hear these
sometimes
people
serious
say.
side effects.
And I got a box of drugs right here I can show y'all today. And the triple about that box of drugs I can show y'all today. I haven't been in the hospital in 2 and 3 years. You see what I'm saying? They doing me all kind of dirty shit. But don't worry, I got y'all. Believe that shit. I'm Mr. Glasses. I gotta see what's happening. I say it again, I'm Mr. Glasses. I gotta see what's happening. Ha ha. I'm gonna be taking the street, people. I'm gonna be doing my new show. My new show gonna be called I Got 5 on it. And the way that's gonna work is I'm gonna walk up to people, you dig, and I'm gonna ask them for $1. Well, I ain't gonna walk up to them, I'm in a wheelchair. I'm gonna roll up to people and I'm gonna ask them for $1. But I'm gonna know that they got $1. I'm gonna know that they got more than $1. I'm gonna know that they got money. But anyway, I'm gonna ask them for $1. And when they tell me they don't have it, I'm going to tell them, well, here you go. So I'm going to get them $5 bill, and I'm going to say, so when anybody asks you, do you have $1? There you go, you got 5, so you can give them 1, you still have 4 left. Because that's what it's all about. I'm getting your 5 up to be straight with 4. Because it ain't about being greedy no more. It's about us all coming together as one loving people, because we already got the ones that hate. We already got the ones that hate. I'll say it again. We already got the ones that hate. And we don't need no more haters. Because I don't feel like Cat Williams feels. Cat Williams says, the more haters, the greater. No, I don't want no one envying me like that. That's why I ain't got no problem with you homosexuals. I'm just saying, why push it all in my fucking face now? Do you remember when it used to be taboo to go in the boo-boo? Do you remember when it used to be don't ask, don't tell? And even if you asked them, they didn't tell you? Come on. Now the shit is okay? Now you're telling little kids for a little boy to kiss another boy, that's straight? No, that is not. That's not straight. Now back to me. Not. Bring that over here. Like I said, that's not straight. For those of you who listen to me right now, straight to create is one way when it comes down to the Creator. In the creation. In the greatest creation of all. That woman. Because I used to say, when I used to believe in that God and Jesus bullshit, if God made anything better than a woman, he kept it to himself, and I couldn't wait to die to get to heaven and see what it was. Now I know. It is that woman. It is what it is. Man was on the created to be a conscious thinking worker bee for that queen bee to be here. To make sure that that queen bee have everything that she needs while she be here. To make sure to sacrifice his life if need be for that queen bee to remain here. Because life must and will carry on. So carry on. Let's go to this here reset. Well, to say that I can't read or write, this is dynamite. Knowing the shit that I know. To know that y'all was taught some bullshit, just like I was taught some bullshit, but y'all was able to read the bullshit too.
Yes, I retired in Florida. I retired from an airline company and have been enjoying my retirement very much.
Enjoy your time.
My name is Doug. I am 74 years old and I live in Pembroke Pines, Florida. I describe myself as a family man, I think, living happily with my bride of 52 years, and we have 3 children and 8 grandchildren. There is no typical day, but once a week, Nancy and I always pick up our granddaughters to take them to school. It's a great time and get to know them a little better. I visit my mother-in-law. I buy all the groceries for her and brighten her day. I was diagnosed with high cholesterol about 15 years ago. I had been on the brand name drug for quite a while, and then the insurance company discontinued coverage of it. I went to my doctor. He recommended a generic drug, and the generic drug has done everything that the brand name did, plus it's much cheaper. Those generic savings have really come in handy because I've been able to help my grandchildren with their college expenses.
I'm sorry,
Spencer's got off to
the very delicate processes the brain needs to ensure
start eating right.
Every time you throw something into the system that's foreign to the system, you're creating imbalances elsewhere within the system.
The body changes as a result of taking the medication. So when you stop taking the medication, the body's got to change back to the way it was before. if it can, because it can't always. And in doing so, it disrupts the whole system.
This is what creates the sometimes serious side effects.
Paxil was the drug that gave me insomnia.
Yep.
Paxil,
one of my...
I completely lost my appetite within the first 2 days of taking it.
It didn't help me study. It didn't help me do anything. I didn't even want to do work because I was so sick.
Side meds didn't help me at all. They made matters, I'd say, probably like 10 times worse for me.
Look at that.
Maybe even 20.
Only now I was further impaired by the medications, and I started having car accidents.
They put me on Zoloft, and it made me want to kill myself.
I realized that those drugs were just destroying me. Even when I was on them, I realized that they were destroying me.
In spite of the crippling effects of their drugs, psychiatrists and drug companies have used them to create a huge and lucrative market worth billions. And they've done this by naming more and more of life's problems as medical disorders requiring psychiatric treatment. For example, shyness becomes social anxiety disorder. Loss of a loved one, major depressive disorder. Homesickness, separation anxiety. Suspicion, paranoid personality disorder. Having ups and downs, bipolar disorder. Distractibility, ADHD. This is why it is almost impossible for anyone to see a psychiatrist today and not be diagnosed with a mental illness. And a diagnosis of mental illness means psychotropic drugs.
When a patient goes into a psychiatrist's office and asks for help, probably 98, 99, maybe even 99.
I just stop right there because he was 98, 99, even 9. Fuck that bullshit, man. 120 fucking percent them bitches gonna give you a fucking prescription after you go see one of them sons of bitches about your psyche. Let me enlighten you on something stupid taught to be people. Cause we wasn't taught to be people. We was taught to be sheeple. Why you think you go to motherfucking school? It's to teach you they fucking rules and regulations. It is what it is. They rule. It is what it is. But anyway, when you look at it, people, we was taught to be sheeple. We was taught to not know that we, the people, make the world go round. And that's how the shit really goes. They have taught us to believe in the devil, God, Jesus. I'll break it down for you. The devil, that was for hell, for those who was committing suicide and would rather be dead than be a slave. And then we just had some strong motherfuckers that just was strong enough to go through some shit. And 9 times out of 10, the ones that were strong enough to go through some shit, they was going through some shit simply because, I ain't gonna tell you no story though, the motherfuckers had faith on the real. On a story that someone told them, but it wasn't really the story. It was all that was divine within them, inside of them, working for them, to be strong. I'm just letting you know, coming from the Creator, that's gonna carry on. Meaning, this that I tell you flows through me just like water goes that can't be stopped. Water goes wherever water wanna go and can't nobody stop it. It is what it is. Sooner or later it's gonna get where it wanna go. So we need to stop. We need to stop believing bullshit like we still kids. Cause like I was saying in the last video, we as the motherfucking sheeple need to stand the fuck up as the fucking people and stop fearing death. Death is part of life. When you sit there and think about death being something that you're afraid of, let me enlighten you on something that you might not be aware of. When you was born here, you did not know a thing. So now is the time for you to know the truth before you go or be circled back around into life again. But it's all on you to want to know the truth, because the truth is in you to come out of you.
0.9% of people are going to receive a medication.
And these medications have been estimated to cause over 700,000 serious adverse reactions a year and 42,000 deaths. Meanwhile, the psychiatric...
Stop right there and say this. They just said how many deaths. Now, we got more deaths for people overdosing on Tylenol, over-the-counter drugs, but we got marijuana as a class 1 elevation drug, meaning that that class 1 drug will elevate them into going into the rest of the drugs, which is the bull. 2, it could not be as much shit as it is. We are some real stupid ass fucking people. But we was taught to be stupid ass sheeple. We got motherfuckers playing motherfucking chess and we're not even playing checkers. To be honest with you, we don't even have part of the board. Oh, on it. We're on the outside looking into our own demise, people. And I'm not just talking about all the brown people. I'm talking about the crackers that have a heart. I'm talking about those loving crackers. Because they got some crackers that got a heart now. Believe that, yeah. Ain't all the crackers cold-hearted. And ain't all niggas kind-hearted. It is what it is. Vice versa. Now it's all mixed up. Because you got to realize, for all that to be so mixed up, you got to think about how it got mixed up from the air and the water. Oh, and the food. Oh, it's just like I'm getting dizzy just thinking about all the twists of how we all twisted up. This is just mind-boggling when you sit there and you think about it for yourself. Because when I sit there and I think about the best time that I ever had was when I was a baby and I was making a little motherfucking shapes and sizes disappear on a little board. That was fascinating to me because I knew that I was doing something that was straight to the point. I wanted to see the square go into the square box and disappear. So I had to make sure that it's the square size that goes into the square size and disappear into the square size on the box. So like I said, now that I am a full-grown adult, now that the Creator has showed me the truth, it is what it is. It's all in you. Because now I know that you are really me. And I you. And me is really the upside down. M-E. Meaning upside down, right side up. W-E meaning we. All. I'm going to say it again. All. One. Loving. From the original. Being created. Those are you crackers that's been created by the evil of man's feelings to want to rule over a human or just be that powerful. It is what it is. You can be on the side with the loving heart people too, as long as your heart feels and knows the truth. Because I'll let y'all know a little wordplay. That bullshit about here today, gone tomorrow. That is bullshit as they say. Here today, gone tomorrow. Here today, gone today. Because nobody's promised tomorrow. But the truth to the matter that matters in you to matter is what you do right now is what matters. Because let me tell you something about all that is that matters is your heartbeat. And your heart beats with that magnetic rotational pull of this earth pulling you from today into tomorrow. But the truth is just that, the truth. You have to finish today first.
Industry rakes in $1/3 of $1 trillion a year. The issue isn't whether or not people's emotional problems are real. They are. What we really should be asking is, how did psychiatrists convince people that these problems were signs of mental illness? How did they use these illnesses to create a demand by doctors and the public for psychotropic drugs? And how did these drugs, with no known curative powers and a long list of side effects, become the standard treatment for every problem in life? Psychiatrists assert that they have made much progress in the field of mental health over the past century and a half. To prove this, they claim a history of great advancements in the area of psychotropic drugs. But is this parade of brain chemicals the scientific breakthroughs they are leading us to believe? Modern institutional psychiatry has depended on psychotropic drugging since its earliest beginnings in insane asylums during the 19th century. During that period, psychiatrists functioned almost exclusively as attendants, promising to cure the seriously mentally ill.
Fucking them
but as
people
they
off.
could not,
Fucking them people off experimenting on them fucking people, man. Some fucking bullshit. It's like a motherfucking Frankenstein type of shit, man. Kind of shit this is.
Okay, because they weren't doing medical stuff. So to increase their status, they needed to become much more scientific.
They need to prove that this is a legitimate scientific field. This is a legitimate medical
the
profession.
type of lies
So
that
they
people
start
perpetrate
medicalizing
on
everything.
To control behavioral outbursts amongst inmates, psychiatrists employed early psychotropic drugs, such as morphine and opium.
So you don't think
But
they
contrary to
still
their
not
claims,
fucking
these
experimenting on
drugs cured
motherfucking
nothing
inmates and shit?
and proved to be highly addictive. This led to a whole new generation of dependence, a solution far worse than the original problem.
Wow.
But the attempts to control objectionable behavior continued, and by the turn of the 20th century, phony cures for mental illness, such as heroin, could be found being peddled throughout the United States and Europe. Even psychologist Sigmund Freud played a major role in the creation of the cocaine industry in the Western world, writing many glowing articles promoting its use for spiritual distress and behavioral difficulties.
Freud, as a psychoanalyst, he, for a while, was promoting cocaine as being a panacea for all kinds of problems.
Freud later wrote,
The psychic effect of cocainum moriaticum consists of exhilaration and lasting euphoria, produced no compulsive desire to use the stimulant further.
What Freud did not reveal was a significant conflict of interest involving two rival pharmaceutical giants, Merck and Parke-Davis, both paying him to endorse their respective cocaine extracts. Sigmund Freud's early psychotropic drug marketing campaign helped create a major cocaine epidemic throughout Europe at the turn of the century. Clearly, another happy pill would have to be found. It wouldn't take long. Psychiatrists in the first half of the 20th century next turned to amphetamines. As before, the hype subsided into unavoidable proof that the drugs not only were ineffective, but highly toxic and addictive. Each fad followed the same pattern. First, the drug would be hailed as a medical breakthrough for mental problems. Then, increasing reports of serious side effects would trickle in. Finally, after years of denial, when psychiatrists and pharmaceutical companies could no longer deny the dangers of the drug, they would abandon it in favor of their next wonder drug. Though none of their drug therapies had ever proven to cure anything, psychiatrists continued their search for a magic bullet that they supposed would cure all. And in 1954, their dream, they believed, was realized with the introduction of psychiatry's first so-called miracle drug, chlorpromazine, better known as Thorazine. Originally designed and tested as a synthetic dye, then as an anti-parasitic in pigs, Thorazine was accidentally discovered to shut down human motor controls.
You heard that, huh?
One of the first papers promoting its psychiatric use stated, the aim is to produce a state of motor retardation, emotional indifference, and somnolence.
Now you see how they got retarded kids. They make kids like that.
Chemical lobotomy.
By off balancing people
cutting off the frontal lobes of the brain
DNA.
with an ice pick. you didn't have to do that kind of surgery. You could do it with a drug.
Thorazine proved so lucrative in immobilizing patients exhibiting unwanted behavior that its maker, SmithKline and French, organized a major promotional campaign around the drug, including paying influential psychiatrists as speakers, organizing media campaigns, and even producing national television shows, a prelude to the mass drug marketing we see all around us today.
Thorazine at that time was thought of as a miracle because it was able to reduce the symptoms of psychosis and schizophrenia at that time that they knew about it. It emptied all of the psychiatric housing units.
The campaign was wildly successful. SmithKline and French's income soared by over 500% in the following 2 decades, with Thorazine supplying over a third of the drug company's revenues in 1970. Eventually, an estimated 250 million people worldwide had been on Thorazine and drugs in its class, 23% more than the entire population of the United States. The floodgates had been opened. SKF and the psychiatrists on its payroll had proved that through marketing, there could be big money in psychiatric drugs. But it wasn't long before Thorazine was revealed to have problems of its own.
Thorazine chronically led to really serious problems such as tardive dyskinesia, which is a movement disorder that's very, very bothersome. And supposedly it's irreversible. The tongue darting,
260 mile trip from
muscle jerking,
Georgia to Atlanta.
Most people were sometimes permanently.
We got 76 miles from Atlanta.
So they were going to have
everybody trying to fuck out Florida.
This neurological problem.
Spent 4 hours. It took 4 hours to go 76 miles.
Because Thorazine so hindered mental function,
my mother
its use had to be limited to institutions.
I'm old lady, I don't know if I ever do this.
Big money at stake.
So
the race was on to discover a psychiatric drug that could be taken out of the institutions and into the hands of a much wider, vaster, and more lucrative market, the general public.
When we stopped,
they were emptying the
lines be long to get in the bathroom.
All these psychotic patients with the advent of Thorazine. Now they had to find different ways to treat people.
Because see, what you saying,
so
you know, you
what
can't take Mother Nature, you don't have to let her know what's really going on.
Man,
and bring in your everyday.
Because I can show you, they showing now, they showing where shit lighting up, pulling that fucking thing and everything.
And that some way to create therapy. It's like you got one herd thing behind another herd. That's just climate control.
They got, you know when you say the roof that came home, some people probably doing now, dog. Lord, you know, bro. They got motherfuckers that quit their jobs and everything showing. Look, this is where the electricity is coming, pulling from this.
To do this, they began a marketing blitz on their companies, placing print advertisements in professional publications, such as the American Journal of Psychiatry. Prominent psychiatrists were then hired to spread the word to the rest of the medical field. You knew that Nathan,
come on, Dave. Come on, and we shape like a booth.
Psychiatrist in his time was being paid by the drug industry.
Get ready to go in the booth. There you go. Shoot your first, then kick your head.
The introduction of atomic energy, if not more so. Free samples were shipped to psychiatrists and physicians to get patients started. A year later, the marketing rollout hit the public, and Miltown soon became the first blockbuster psychiatric drug, not just for those incarcerated in an insane asylum, but for the mainstream public. Miltown was marketed to pregnant women, stay-at-home moms, and busy white-collar office workers, who called it executive eccentric.
So it opened up a door for community-based mental health. Whereby the psychiatrist could then have a role. So they became very closely associated with the pharmaceutical industry. And they were demanding as well to come up with better things for mom and pop and the executive. And the superstar Hollywood actors or actor. And soon, you know, it became a fashion to take some of these medications.
By the 1960s, 36 million prescriptions for Miltown had been filled in the United States alone, accounting for 200 sales, an amount unheard of at that time for any psychiatric drug.
It's a struggle right now.
Miltown's success led to the introduction of many more psychiatric drugs.
If somebody tell you you're going to have a wall of 50-foot waves, nigga, you going to.
One such drug was Miami, man. It was like a ghost city.
Much to the delirious acclaim of psychiatrists
and the press. They already got somebody that won't buy that part of the land already. In Miami.
Yeah, man.
Man, this is some fucked up shit, dude.
That fucked up shit, man. I mean, I have a conversation with a brother. Matter of fact, born and raised in New Orleans, but been in Atlanta like 30 years. Today, I said, man, you know this is, I said, you know this, geoengineering. Oh, yeah, absolutely. And they do that, be all this shit. We talk about all that shit. Said, man, you fucked up what's going on here, bro.
And fell quickly out of use. But the psychiatric community ignored these warnings. Pandora's box had been opened.
The fucking system, bro. And I'm like I say, look, and when you see all the FEMA trucks rolling around, you like, hey, bitch. Not FEMA, Walmart.
If the drugs
like,
and shoot, man. You were seeing, when we was coming from, we got in Louisiana, you were seeing trucks going down 20, they're going to help restore power. These are trucks that go and take care of electricity shit. We saw at least 40 of them, like combo.
Complaints were no longer psychological. They were symptoms of disease.
Some people fucked up, man. It's bad, man. They went to the African people girl up, because man,
it's all about money. The use of writing prescriptions and having an income from people coming in and getting their prescriptions and this, that, and the other is